You mentioned feeling stuck, and I often wonder if you feel there was something particular in your practice or non-duality journey that was important for making your shift happen, such as continuously staying with the I am or awareness or self-inquiry, or staying with a teacher or someone you did continuously pushing, pointing you in the right direction. I think all of it was just a perfect play of things. My Buddhist meditation, the Buddhist sutras that I learnt, spending time with the Neo-Advaita teachers, so like Tony Parsons and Nathan Gill at the time we were in London. I got obsessed with Eckhart Tolle for a while, and then going to India and spending time with Ramesh, and then spending time with Roger. And if any one of those things didn't happen, then the next thing couldn't have happened. Like I could never have spent that time with Roger if I hadn't spent all that time meditating. So it was all of it, in a way. Like all of it led me to that point where this shift happened. So what you could say that everything, and everything equals nothing. So everything and nothing led me to that shift. And then from this very perspective of this moment, you could say it's unknowable, it's mysterious, like it's out of our hands. Yeah. And I think a willingness as well, I think that was important. Like I really went for it. I really gave up on life. I don't like to say those sorts of things anymore. I used to say it all the time in the beginning videos, and then I listened to people and how people took that. But what do I mean by giving up on life? Like I really gave up on the idea that life would save me. Like, because even in a way, Carmela, you're even asking this in some sort of way that non-duality is going to save you. But I had like a really beautiful, safe space to really go there. Like I was living with Roger when I got to that place, and I just sunk more and more into this moment, into what was actually happening. Like I gave up on life, on the future, on what I imagined would bring me joy or happiness. And then what began to happen was this moment began to come back to life. It's ironic, like I began to surrender all these dreams and hopes that I had, and then I actually was paying attention to the kitchen or to cooking or to walking on the floor or to the insects. There's an immense amount of insects in Australia. But I was so hardcore about it. And what do I mean by hardcore? Like I was just so, like I was really prepared to give up on life. Like some people say that it's karma because like the Buddha gives this teaching, like really seeing that life is suffering, and I think that's like giving up on life, like really seeing that there's no way out of this in life. Like really knowing that fundamental truth, that life won't satisfy you. Earnestness, like Nisargadatta says. Yeah, maybe. Thanks for your question. Saragi, hi Lisa, do you have anything to say on the Human Design System by Raruha? No, I have nothing to say. I don't really know the human design by him, unless it's the same as what Eli does, Gangaji's husband. But yeah, these psychological things and understanding the human better is all helpful on the human level. But who is it that gets enlightened? Who are you? Who's looking at me now? Who hears me now? Who's touching the sofa that you're sitting on, or who's looking at the screen? Who does the human design? On the human level, though, getting to know yourself from multiple angles, like really exploring the personality structure, is super helpful for the person to relax and the person to become more in balance. And undoubtedly, the more balanced the person is, then the more they can hear non-duality. If you're really suffering, then hearing the beauty of this moment is like, fuck off. So, seeing that. So I see its relevance. The introvert was a defect. I don't know what that word says. I don't know if it's me or you. Let me listen.
Deficient.
Deficient. The introvert was a deficient of what? The introvert's not deficient of anything. When you're attached to being the introvert's a way of being. Like an introvert, the defining between an introvert and an extrovert is an extrovert recharges in social situations where an introvert recharges alone. But if you mean in the negative way, when you're attached to it, seeking wise, is that you obsessively try to be an introvert. So you become like a hermit, basically. And then it becomes about not being loved and not being good enough. And feeling like others are hurting you or attacking you or something, like on its extreme. Like when you're identified with it and you really get lost in that introvert feeling. Thank you for your reply, it was helpful. Thank you, Lisa, for the explanation. We'll work on this. Thank you. With pleasure, guys. It's time for me to go now. I have to walk Khaleesi before it gets dark, and it's getting darker earlier. I apologize for those of you that tuned in at 6 p.m. and it took me 35 minutes to get up and running. Yeah, I eventually got there, and I really appreciate those that stuck with it. Remember to put the thumbs up if you want these videos to carry on and to be shared. That's the way that what Google likes and appreciates. Like the way that Google works with the algorithms is that the videos that aren't suppressed are the ones that get views and gets likes. And you guys are sometimes not very good at putting the thumbs up. So I remind you. But last time you did very well after I asked. Thanks, guys. I send you lots of love and I wish you everything. Goodbye.